Hello, everyone. Pop here with a little bit of uncommon wisdom or unconventional wisdom, I guess, is what I've deemed this page. Wanted to share a little something from Edmund Burke this evening. Very short quote, but very profound. Never, no, never did nature say one thing and wisdom say another. That's by Edmund Burke. Like I said, short but profound. Never, no, never did nature say one thing and wisdom say another. I can't help but think about the profound wisdom in this in the time that we live in. In this time, in this day and age, so many people seem to think that their wisdom can run awry of nature and it remains wisdom. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about people who think they can be born one way or the other. There's only two. Nature tells us that. And yet, they can say, my wisdom, my understanding, my perspective, my feeling is that I'm not the one that I was born as. I mean, we even have commercials from drug companies that talk about gender being assigned at birth. In other words, when a child is born, they see this child and they look at it and determine whether or not it is male or female. That is when the gender is assigned. Sorry, but genetically speaking, the chromosome that makes one a male or a female is right there from the beginning. It is not assigned at birth. It is assigned at conception. That's nature, if you want to call it that. I call it creation or procreation. That's determined when those two cells come together. And that child is either male or female. Yes, there are exceptions to every rule. There are those that are born hermaphrodite. And it's really hard to tell for sure. But that's not everybody. And that is a physical thing. And it is emotional and it is psychological, but it's much deeper than someone just deciding one day, you know what? I was assigned this at birth, but that's not who I am. I believe in my heart of hearts that I'm something or someone else. So therefore, my wisdom supersedes nature or creation, procreation. And I get that. I understand why people feel the way they do. As I said earlier, there's an emotional and psychological issue at play here. We have to be real. We don't assign gender at birth. If that were the case, why would there be gender reveals when someone has seen in ultrasound that their child is either male or female? I mean, I'm sure there are people that would say that's just not fair to make that declaration until that child decides for themselves. We do not decide gender. We just don't. Have you ever seen a cat or a dog decide it wants to be something different than what it is? If it's a female cat, it's a female cat. If it's a male cat, it's a male cat. It's that way with every species on the planet. And not to just decide you're going to be something different, that means there's something going on in your mind that you need to deal with. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I do care about people that struggle with such things. But listen to the quote one more time. Never, no, never did nature say one thing and wisdom say another. Think on that one. To say otherwise, to speak against nature, if you will, is not wisdom. It makes no sense in all reality. Do we need to care about people going through this? Yes, we do. Do we need to pray for them? Yes, we do. Do we need to help them? Yes, we do. But do we need to help them continue in their mental illness? No. No, we don't. It seems easy to say, yes, we can do that and we should do that, because usually what these folks are going through does not have a profound effect on society. It's not like someone who, with the mental illness of violence, and say like someone who's a serial killer. We would never support such behavior as that. Most people wouldn't support pedophilia. Some actually do, because they believe that's just the orientation of the person and we need to accept that. Well, that may be how they're oriented, but that's not natural to hurt children. It's just not. So there's a lot that we all have to sort through in life. There's no doubt about that. But we need to be kind, we need to be compassionate, and we need to be helpful. And if someone needs to heal, needs a treatment of some sort, would we refuse that for them? And no, I'm not talking about reassignment surgery. I'm talking about the fact of this emotional, psychological, very deep uncomfortableness of one's self, of one's being. Shouldn't we want to help them work through that instead of help them stay in it? Historically, many people who have gone and done physical changes to their body to become what they think they are, many of them decide they were right to begin with as they were born, and they switch back. It's not uncommon for that to happen. And I've seen people, when they've been caught in a situation, a violent situation or something like that, they claim one gender, but when it comes time to face going to jail, they don't want to go to jail as that gender. Years ago, a woman in Maine who identified as a man one day just wanted to kill someone, and she did. She killed an old lady just to see her die. And when it came time to go into jail and what she was going to be facing as a murderer, she was a she again. She didn't identify as a man anymore. She wanted to identify as a woman. Why? Well, she didn't want to go to a men's prison. She wanted to go to a woman's prison. She figured it might be a little better for her there than in a men's prison. And I'm sure it would have been. But she claimed to be one thing, identified as one thing, but when caught in the act of murder, decided, no, I am what I was born as. Something to think about. There's a lot more at the heart of these things than just trying to help somebody feel good about themselves and accept what they believe about themselves. Again, compassion, love, understanding, and support for a healthy lifestyle needs to be first and foremost. Well, that's what I had to share. Again, this is just me sharing it. It's not anything you have to agree with, and that's fine. But I personally cannot continue to agree with, nor have I ever really agreed with such things as this. To me, it has never made sense. My gender, for me, was assigned at conception. The doctor didn't decide that. I didn't decide to remain male or anything like that. As Popeye would say, I am what I am. I was born this way. God bless.